Just making sure. I was like,
you're good to go. Thank you.
you're so welcome. All right, good evening, you all. I'm about to share my screen right now for financial aid Q&A. I'm going to go through the slides, but as Jared said, we will be doing Q&A at the end, just so that things don't get lost in the chat. And just in case anybody has personal situations that they need to discuss with me, I will be available. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Everybody see the right thing?
Yes, we're good. Yes.
Okay,
we're good.
gotcha. All right. As I said, financial aid Q&A. You got questions, we've got answers. So we are going to go over 3 general areas, which will be general, refunds, and resources. General would just be like when the disbursement happens, how many hours do I need for aid to disperse, and then what to do with our refunds and how does that actually look, and then our campus partners that we also work with. So some people wonder, how is their financial aid determined? Well, it is determined by the cost of attendance and your expected family contribution, which is identified after you fill out the FAFSA. What is my bottom line? So I love the budget worksheet because it's actually really, really good at showing you exactly how your money is going to work for you at Florida State. As you can see at the top, it is our favorite type of funding, which is scholarships. And then you have grants, which is also another big favorite. Loans, not so great. And then we have Florida prepaid and waivers at the bottom. On your right-hand side will be our expenses. So that is our credit hours, how our fees are going to look, and our housing and our dining. This is usually the general estimate that is usually posted is based on 15 hours, which usually comes out to about like $6,000, could be like 11 grand person for the year. But this is a good breakdown of showing you how your money is going to be used. So if you know you got Bright Futures, medallion or academic, you will fill that in and let your money tally up so that you can see how much money you're going to be working with going forward. So one question that is asked that we have a lot of is, this school offered me this grant, but FSU didn't offer it to me. All schools get their own allocation of funding, and it's based on eligibility and availability and when the institution received your FAFSA. So all of those things can tell you why you did or did not get a grant. And then sometimes we actually do not carry the grant. So sometimes we have transfer students like coming from TCC. If there's a blue and gold scholarship, then you probably won't find a blue and gold scholarship here. It's probably going to be more Garnet Center. So all funding isn't going to follow you. Am I going to receive additional funds later? If additional need-based funds become available at a later date, eligible students will be notified via student email. No additional actions will be needed by the student. I am a newly admitted student. Why is my Bright Futures Award showing up inaccurately? The amount viewable on your financial aid package is an estimate based on your self-reported test scores. This is not your official Bright Future Scholarship. As the Office of Student Financial Assistant is currently in the process of reviewing your application. And when that happens, usually it's based off of your enrollment. Your Bright Futures is paid out on enrollment. And the tricky thing with that is that we do have early disbursement. So that can get tricky if you want to do add drop. So those are, when you have Bright Futures, the best thing to do is actually to reach out to the office if you have any issues or questions, or, before you do anything to your class schedule that could impact you financially. Understanding it. Some people call academic scholarship the 100%, that is your 213, 55 per credit hour. And then you have medallion scholars that pays out to 116, 16 per credit. And to make sure that you got the right financial aid and know what it is, we will go to www.floridastudentfinancialaid.org and make sure that your application is updated there. That is where it's going to tell you which one you are qualified for. Applying for additional scholarships, there is a campus-based directory at fsu.academicworks.com. Admitted students are the students who have access to this upon completion of the general application. And this is for my Florida prepaid people. Student Business Service actually houses Florida prepaid. That is who you will go to for all of your questions about it. But it does pay out first. So Florida prepaid and Bright Futures are the two fundings that will pay out first before we get into your grants and scholarships. My FAFSA said I will have to complete verification. How can I do that? You will be able to go into your to-do list in your portal that will have any information from financial aid if you get selected for verification. If you are selected for verification, please get your documents in time because it will hold up disbursement if it's not turned in and you are selected. What if my taxes on my FAFSA are no longer reflective of my current circumstances? Right here, it's showing verification forms, but there's actually a tab for special circumstances where we can do income reductions, divorce decrees, and so on and so forth. So if any of those situations or another situation applies to you, you can reach out to the financial aid office to see which form is more applicable to you, or you can go and see which one best fits you. And if you know for certain it's straightforward, fill it out and just get it to the office and we'll work on it. Do I have to accept or decline my loans right away? No. The only thing I will say is if you decline a loan in fall and then come back to the spring and say that you want it, that does not happen. But you within that semester, you can decline or accept. You will have to get it reinstated if you do decline. Am I ready for disbursement? So Bright Futures and Florida Prepaid pays out automatically. You have to be enrolled into a minimum of 6 credit hours in order to have a disbursement. You need to make sure that any to-do items that have been requested are completed before the due date, because FSU does early disbursement. That date can change from semester to semester. So it is best to just make sure that you get that done in the prior semester if you see it on your to-do list. And then, make sure that Student Business Services has your direct deposit information, or you will get a check mailed to you with the address you have on file. When will my financial aid be available? Your financial aid will be available about 3 to 5 business days after disbursement date, and which is usually we complete around the first week of school. Early disbursement happens, but we do rolling disbursements every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you have a scholarship with foundations, that's usually with academic foundations, that's usually what we disperse on a schedule of Tuesdays and Thursdays if you are in the batch to disperse. And right now, a lot of students are wondering when they will see their summer offers. We are anticipating about 2 weeks to see what the summer packages look like. So that will be the time to reach out to the office if you are wondering what your summer package is going to look like. Financial aid dues. Please complete your FAFSA annually October 1st because money is dispersed on a first come, first served, which means that your FAFSA needs to be correct and it needs to be in on time. So I will suggest October 2nd to October 3rd is the most safe days as far as, making sure you are making yourself eligible for all of that grant funding. But know that eligibility does not mean that you will get it. Just set yourself up for the best chance possible. Review a student aid report for accuracy and make corrections via the FAFSA. That is very important because it takes about 72 hours for a FAFSA to be corrected, and that will also affect you if disbursement is coming around the corner. So definitely make sure you pay attention to those to-do lists. Set up delegate permissions if you need to. Make sure you meet the important deadlines. That goes back to making sure you check your email and then making sure that you can submit your documents in on time and in a timely manner. Review the financial aid website for information and resources. Submit requested documents in a timely manner. See, this keeps coming up because that will affect your money the most. Create a financial plan and budget and regularly check your university email. Our don'ts will be to not wait till the last minute to submit your FAFSA, to expect the same awards offered at another institution, to expect the university to pay for 100% educational expenses, expect exceptions due to missed deadlines, excellent grades, or good behavior, because we function off of deadlines. We do not function off of rapport. It would be nice if we could always do that, but we need your documents in on time because that is what the government is looking for. Expect recently submitted documents be processed instantly. We are servicing 40,000 students. Each and every last one of you are special, but there is a line. So make sure that if you don't want to stand in that line, submit your documents in a timely manner. That will help you the most, instead of waiting to the last minute and then at the last minute saying, hey, did y'all get my document on Friday at 3:59? And can it be processed today because it was due today? It really doesn't work. We definitely need a turnaround in time. And to compare award offers with other students, that's a big thing, because not everyone's situation is the same. So don't look at someone else's situation thinking that as your situation. Is definitely based on the FAFSA and your academic achievements, not anyone else's. And so helpful links will be document submission tips. We have a link for that right here. Frequently asked questions is also on our website, and then additional resources. We will go into that in our next slide. The internal partners, we work with the Office of Admissions on residency, updating test scores, because that will be related to your bright futures. Review final high school transcripts, and correcting or providing your missing social security number. That affects us, because I will not be able to see your ISER, which is your information for me to help see how much financial aid we will be giving you. Student business services generates your bills, your payments, your refunds. Make sure that your direct deposit information is there. And if you do not want to do direct deposit, make sure that the right address on file for the check is there, because they will send it to whatever check is on file. Make sure that is updated. And if you end up changing, make sure you update that as well. Florida Prepaid will also, like I said, it is housed under student business services. And they also process waivers and collections. Academic advising, just major and college life coaching. And then also the Office of Registrar, they are also directly related to us, because when you drop or add classes, you would like to reach out to us to see if it will financially impact you in any kind of way. And also prepare your college transcripts and college graduation certification. Our external partners would be OSFA, which is the Office of Financial Student Assistance, the Florida Department of Education. That is about your Florida Bright Futures eligibility, and studentaid.gov, which would be your FAFSA, and there's a number for both of them right there. For our new Noles, we have the website right here for you, financialaid.fsu.edu/apply-aid/new Noles. And there it will have our financial success. We have video guides on how to view, accept, and decline awards, and then also on submitting documents and all the tips. I will say one big tip is that we do not like electronic signatures. You will have to redo it if you submit an electronic signature. So wet signatures only when you're submitting documents. And if it says notary, it's not optional. We need a notary. I've been seeing a lot of that lately as well. And to stay connected to us, you can do financialaid.fsu.edu. That is our website with all of our resources and all of our lovely tabs. Our phone number is 850-644-0539. You can call and get into one of our agents, or you can leave a message, and then you can email us at financialaid@fsu.edu and Facebook at FinaidFSU. If you reach out to us, please include your ID and your email. And that is the end of my show.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Cameron. I really appreciate the great information you shared. Family members, we will have a Q&A time with Cameron in just a bit. I'm going to pass it over to our partner, Lee, over in the Career Center. So Lee, I'll pass it over to you.
Thanks, Jared. And Cameron, that was great information. This is always great for me to refresh, all the information about financial aid. Welcome, everyone. I am Lee Pon. I'm with the Career Center, and today's topic is how to pay for college. So another way that we can also help our students think about other resources to pay for college is to potentially get a part-time job. And we have lots of resources for that. So I want to go ahead and share my screen because I would like to show you our Career Center website, as well as how you can get to our pages who specifically talk about how to gain experience, but very specifically how to secure a part-time job. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me make sure I'm doing the right thing. There we go. And you should be able to see the Career Center page, which is very easy. We made it, we're clever. We try to be clever. So our website is just career.fsu.edu. It's very easy to remember. And as you can see in here, we have our big tabs. I'll be remiss if I don't mention that we provide, one of our main missions is to provide career advising and help our students answer any questions that as they may be related to the professional development, as well as just career development journey that they may have. And like Cameron mentioned, yes, career development, it's very unique. So financial aid packets are going to look differently from each other, right? Same thing with us at the Career Center. You may be in the same class, you may have graduated from the same high school, but you may have different interests, values, and skills. And we always will have that conversation with our FSU students to learn a little bit more about them and how all of that aligns with what they're looking for, whether it's an internship or a part-time job, or they're getting ready to graduate and they are excited to start their full-time roles. But today we're going to focus a little bit on part-time jobs and how to be able to get that little extra money, whether it's by securing a job on campus or by exploring some of our part-time opportunities locally. And so with that said, once you are in the Career Center website, let me increase the font a little bit, you will go to the student tab, and on the first one that says undergraduate students, you will click there and a menu is going to come up, and on the right-hand side, let me see if I can count, 3, 4, 5. The fifth option is jobs, internships, and experience. So if you click in there, it's sort of all encompassing, right? And so in here, you will see that experiential learning and everything where our students can learn from doing, it's here. We list all the different categories, but specifically, I want to point you at some very curated resources that we created to help students either land a part-time job or look at an internship. And let's explore a little bit of landing a part-time job. So as you click on learning a part-time job, it's going to open to this website. And in here, everything that you can think of how to land a part-time job. So first of all, we do have our system called Noles Network, which is our online database for internships, for full-time roles, as well as different information sessions that are presented by different employers. So at any given time, students just have to log in to their Noles Network account and they can see different part-time jobs, different full-time opportunities, as well as start connecting with some employers that they may be looking to apply once they graduate. You may say, well, we do have Indeed. I know I can just Google different things, but what's so unique about Noles Network? Noles Network really allows us to group all the students or centralize all the different jobs opportunities, internship opportunities that employers are specifically looking for FSU students. So any student, any jobs that is posted here, these opportunities are intentional. These are employers who are looking to hire FSU students. And we work with our partners on campus as well for those opportunities to be posted there. So the goal is to have that one-stop hub for all students to reach these opportunities. And so first is Noles Network, and it's very easy. You can just click on it and it's going to bring you to a login, and you just have to click on student and alumni My FSU sign in, and you use your FSU sign in for this. So there's no additional password that you have to remember. None of that stuff. So once you're logged in, then you can search for different part-time job opportunities. But I want to bring you back because this page also includes a job widget. And this is what you see here where it says Noles Network, and underneath you see you can scroll up and down and you can see all the different part-time jobs that are posted in Noles Network. So this is a great way to quickly get a snapshot or to see what's out there. And if you click in any of them, it will immediately take you to Noles Network for you to sign in. And once you sign in, you go directly to that posting. You can review all the details and apply directly in there. Very important, as we get very eager. We are so excited to get a job. We're settled. Hopefully once you're settled, you're ready to get a job. And sometimes some opportunities are too good to be true. And sometimes that's the case. So we just want you to be a little aware that there are some part-time job scams out there. You should never give your social security number and your personal bank information. They may send you a check sometimes at the beginning of the process. They may sometimes, what we've seen is that sometimes they will send you a check for you to cash, or they say, go ahead and buy these things, send it to this address, and then we will reimburse you. We have to be very careful with that. Always check as well that the job that you're applying for, the website matches, the address of the website matches the actual website. So sometimes we've seen employers who say, for example, our website at FSU is fsu.edu. They may say fsu.org. That is not our website. So try to do a little bit of double checking there, or fact checking, to make sure that the opportunity that you're applying to is something that is real. And so if you encounter an opportunity and you're not sure, and you just want someone to look at it and just say, does this part-time position really pay $50 an hour for me just typing in a few things and doing some errands? We are here for you. Come by the Career Center, and we have a system of drop-ins, meaning that you don't need an appointment to come see us, our main center. And so from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., there will be somebody that can help you with that. As you get into your majors, you will also get to know your career liaisons. Career liaisons are phenomenal career advisors who specialize in different colleges. So they may be right next to the classrooms that you're taking classes. So for example, if any of you are part of the College of Social Sciences and Public Policy, our career liaison is located right on the Dean's Suite. So know that we're resources, whether you come to our main location, which is at the Dunlap Success Center, or if you you just have to ask, where's your career liaison in your college, you should be able to locate them. And so know that any questions that you may have that come with this, in terms of the ability of the position, that we are here. With that said, here are some of the Career Center resources that we have. We talk about student employment listings, Knoll Network. Once again, it lists off-campus, work from home, on-campus opportunities. We also host a part-time job fair that we host in the spring as well as fall semester. So know that this is something that you can also look forward to, and it's going to be in person. So our next one is going to be in the fall semester. But very specifically, I wanted to point out that there are some employers or some departments on campus that are known for just being wonderful, and they hire many students. And so with that, if you click on finding a part-time job on campus, you will see that, of course, our Office of Human Resources, and through our official website, jobs.fsu.edu, you can see all different part-time positions, and often times they may be labeled as OPS or other personal services. So don't let that name scare you. That is part of how some departments label their part-time roles within our official FSU database. Once they're posted in Knoll Network, we try to explain, or we try to specify that they are part-time. That way it's easy for you to identify. For those of you who excel at different either skills or excel at different subjects, the Academic Center for Excellence, or ACE Learning Studio, hires different tutors, peer tutors, so you can support your classmates who may need additional academic support. So this is one of our top employers on campus, and it's a variety of skills and academic knowledge that they're looking for. Seminole Dining, and of course you can click on any of them as an example and it'll take you there. Seminole Dining is also our vendor for all food and beverages here at Florida State University, and they are also consistently hiring for any positions as it comes from any of their dining halls, some of the restaurants that we have, some of the different events that they may be having for catering, etc. They hire a variety of students. So if you are looking for, some of those opportunities that the schedule can be a little bit more flexible, that may not be necessarily a consistent schedule for you, Seminole Dining can provide some of that. But of course, they also have opportunities with very consistent schedule. One of our favorite partners is Campus Recreation. I'll open it up just as an example of it. As you can see, they have a whole page dedicated to job and staff opportunities. And so they will be posting all the different opportunities that they have available. Anything from positions at Camp Flestacao, counselors and staff, to marketing graduate assistants or marketing interns, you name it. They have many positions, and they could not run their operations without student employees. So absolutely take a look at Campus Rec. They have some great locations. Not only you may be able to get a little active because you're working in the gym, but they also have some outdoor locations that may be of interest to you as well. As we go through this, university libraries, another one, I will say between Campus Recreation and university libraries, those are our two biggest employers on campus. Did you know that we have 8 libraries across campus? And so some of the the big ones. If you don't know them yet, very soon you're going to know about Strocher, you're going to know about Dirac, and how many hours it's going to spend there. It's going to become your second home on campus. And so with that, we have other libraries that are also specialized, and they are consistently hiring students as well. It's one of those employers where we see over and over students being retained, and students, once they started the library, they stay there for a little while, because at times it provides that quiet space as well for you to do different, to have that break from all the hustle and bustle from campus. The August Union as well, or our student union, which right now is being remodeled. It's also one of the biggest employers of student employees. So more information on that as we get ready to unveil our new student union. And then, of course, the Engagement Center, which is formerly our FSU Foundation or Phone Center. This is going to be especially for our students who are looking to gain more communication skills, students who are looking to maybe see what sales may look like, some of those calls that you may have to do to gain different customer services, or just gain customers in general. It is another great way to think about opportunities. And so they employ nearly 70 students year round to be able to conduct their outreach opportunities. And of course, university housing. University housing is, again, another one of our big employers on campus. They hire RAs, and they hire other staff to support all their different operations. So we've highlighted some of this as well in here, because we know that consistently these are departments that are hiring. On this website, we also have how to find part-time jobs in the greater Tallahassee area. So let's say you have a car, or you're looking for something outside of campus. We also have resources for that, and to understand a little bit about, Leon County, our county, as well as our city of Tallahassee. They also hire students, as well as some of the other programs that are available as well. And of course, the other universities, as well as the community colleges that we have, and some of the more known database for jobs as well. And of course, it was very popular that during the pandemic, a lot of us were interested, a lot of you were interested in part online or remote work. So we have different databases that help you identify those very specific roles that are only remotely. So if that's the case, do not hesitate to check on our relevant databases and either filter by saying remote opportunities, as well as coming to check with us at the Career Center to understand where those resources are and some of the databases that are most popular for remote opportunities. And of course, always, if you're not sure who to target, always, or what employers or where to start, don't worry. Just come to the Career Center. We'll start a conversation. And based on what you're looking for, the first question we're going to ask you is what brings you in today. And as you think about that and you let us know, we can tailor the services that you receive that day. With that, I know Cameron mentioned scholarships. So one of my favorite sites, and I always just have to give it a shout out, it's our scholarship portal, FS4U. which is a great opportunities within, the Office of Financial Aid website. Right here, FS4U is our all opportunities scholarship in here. And so it's a great program, or it's a great portal, because you have a general application. And so it will ask you just general information. Once you complete that profile, it will recommend some scholarships that you may qualify for based on, I have seen, and Cameron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen scholarships that are for students who were part of a music band, or students who are from a specific county, very, very specific scholarships that may apply to you. Yeah.
I will go ahead and say that is definitely the simple way how Lee said to go find it is FS4U is the actual website that I gave you. Yeah, FS4U. But yes, I'm from a very, very small county. I'm actually from Hamilton County, if anyone even knows where that is at. And I was like, nobody ever has anything for us. And I went looking through this portal, and sure enough, they have something for me. Like, they had something that was specifically for people from rural areas, which is something that I harp on a lot. But yeah, get back to you.
And one of the things that I really like, and if you want to do it tonight, we'll drop the link in a minute on the chat as well, but it has a search by keyword. And know that I'm not even logged in. It's asked, if, I have to sign in for it to be very specific and recommend different things for my student profile. But I'm not even logged in. And let's say I'm thinking about, as you can see, I'm part of the career centers. Of course, my search are going to be interns as well as experiential learning. And so let's just say I'm looking for an internship, or I just want anything related to interns. If I click in here and I put that, and then I search for it, about 80 scholarships have the word intern. Of course, I'm not saying there are 80 scholarships for each of you. It's just that I just did a very general search, and I just put intern in there. And just like that, you can put your county, you can put your major, and then you can see all the different opportunities available. The deadlines are there, so you can go ahead and put it on your calendar. I know we have some families in here, or just loved ones who are supporting our students. So this is another great way for you to also keep an eye on some of these opportunities. And then you will have to click on them and then look at what are the qualifications, when are the deadlines, what do they need to submit, etc. But as you can see, there anything for international programs, for minority scholarships. We have experiential learning greatest need fund. They're just very specific one. There's this one specifically for humanities, etc. So I wanted to always, every time I talk a little bit about how to pay for college or anything to support your academic journey financially, I always give a shout out to FS4U, because it's a portal that is comprehensive to almost all the scholarships at Florida State. And so as I wrap up my presentation part, if there are two things that you want to I want you to walk away from this presentation. The Career Center is here to support you. You do not have to need a part-time job right away. You don't need to be confused about what you want to major, what you want to do, and different things. To come visit us, come check us out, have a conversation, get familiar with us. I promise we're all friendly and nice, and we want to help you. And again, we have drop-in services, meaning that you do not need an appointment to come to our Dunlap Success Center, which is the first floor, and it's a drop-in basis, meaning you show up and somebody is going to be there to assist you. And the second one is, do not hesitate to look and put different keywords into the FS4U portal so you can access all the different scholarships available to students.
Perfect.
And that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Lee. Honestly, I had not even heard of FS4U. So that is so interesting. I'm just so intrigued by that process. I was literally thinking in my head, I was like, where do folks try to find
for grad
scholarships?
students too. Grad students too.
We love this. Oh, this is awesome. Wish I had that in grad school, because that would have been nice. Here we are. 2 degrees later, it's okay. We're paying for stuff. It's fine. We're living our best life. Well, thank you both so much. So families, we're gonna pass it over to you all. So if you have any questions for our friends at Financial Aid or Lee, feel free to message them directly to myself, or you can unmute yourself and ask. You can just ask. I do have some starting questions first that kind of were sent in beforehand. So first question maybe for you, Cameron. So if I don't apply for financial aid this year, will that affect my eligibility for financial aid in subsequent years?
So I really wonder, like, what exactly do you mean by that? No, it
Sure.
will not. So
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, like your 8 year. So I'm so glad I get to say this. Your 8 year starts in fall. You have to think of fall as your January, and December is your summer. So as long as we are going from fall, spring is your middle, summer, that is your 8 year. Some people think, and I had a lot of juniors or incomings who needed summer financial aid and thought that the 22-23 FAFSA was for that. That is not that. Is your 8 year starts from fall. So it's from fall to summer every year. So this year, if you don't have a financial aid application on file, it is only going to impact you up until August 2023. Now, if you do not have a 22-23 FAFSA on file, you will be affected. I'm so sorry. Affected until fall 2023. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
No, yeah, checks out, makes sense. So Lee, question for you. Are there specific internships that my students should look for, maybe connected directly to their major or future career?
Absolutely. We have a program called Intern FSU. Intern FSU is our on-campus paid internship program for undergraduate students. So this is an opportunity where we get to connect with different departments, faculty and staff, different institutes at Florida State University. And when we think about, we are a whole corporation, right? We have different job functions. So we've partnered with these offices and host sites to have students come and intern, and they partnered with us to provide paid opportunities for students. We are waiting for funding for the fall semester, so fingers crossed. As soon as that's available, we'll start the recruitment process on the faculty and staff side. But for my students, keep an eye around July. That's when we post the opportunities as well. And I'll put the link in the chat so you can, if you want to save that link, that way around July, you can check it out and see if we've made the announcement that the program is taking place in the fall semester. But just like that specific opportunity, when we talk about, notice that when I was talking a little bit about some of the part-time resources, part-time job resources, I was trying to tie it back a little bit into what the student was doing or wants to major, or what are some of the skills that they're looking for. So when you come to the Career Center, we'll have those conversations. Yes, there are different opportunities and there are different jobs, but are there jobs that will align with that career trajectory? Are there jobs that you're going to be acquiring skills that are going to make you more competitive, or they're going to help you be successful in your academic endeavors? We will want to have that conversation with you and point you to the right direction.
Thank you so much, Lee. And I will be a strong proponent of the greatness that is Intern FSU. We have an intern that we in our office, our communication intern. We always go through Intern FSU, and I have had an amazing opportunity just to work with the student. The student is a communication and journalism major. So she writes, so the newsletter that you all see, she's writing some of those articles. The blog that you see, she's writing those articles, like running the social media aspects. So it is an amazing opportunity. And she and I have talked, and she was like, I never thought I'd be able to do this. She worked for a magazine last summer, but like, this is such a different experience. We kept her on for both semesters. It's been a great time. So highly recommend Intern FSU for your student if they would like. I did see some hands raised. I think Cindy had her hand raised. Cindy.
Hi, yes. So my question is, when we go to orientation, will we sit with someone from financial aid to understand that worksheet and how the money is getting applied? So I understand that prepaid pays first and then Bright Futures. And then in our case, he got the VIRES scholarship. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is our deficit? So will that be covered on a one-to-one basis at orientation?
I really can't say that that will happen at the table events just because they are so big and we will have to service a lot of you. There can be you can come directly into the financial aid office, which is in the stadium. You usually start your tours from the stadium, so we will not be hard to find. I promise you, we're on the fourth floor, and we'll come find you even. But as far as, we will never discuss your personal situation at the table, because like we said, because of our financial don'ts, is not to discuss other people's awards. Other students shouldn't discuss their awards with each other. We're not going to discuss your awards with your student, because we don't, the world is crazy enough. And also your student just might have something going on that another student doesn't. And we don't need students mixing their conversations together saying that, oh, this pertains to me, because no, it doesn't. We definitely pull our information from the FAFSA and then any other information that is gathered by Florida State.
And
so
Cindy,
you can get it done.
Thank you so much, Cameron. And I'll add, so during orientation, we will have a Money Matters presentation. So you'll hear some of this information again, and maybe a little bit more in depth and more targeted information. But as Cameron mentioned, you are more than welcome to go and visit the financial aid office while you were here with us this summer. So I'm also very excited that you are a new family member. I look forward to seeing you this summer and welcoming you and your student. But we will have some folks there. So if you do need to come make an appointment, checking with the office, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's see, I had some questions sent directly to me, so I will ask them. So I have a question here. It says, what is in the financial aid tab now? So at grants and or loans, and is that the final amount available to us? Or is there a possibility for more?
As I'm also not really sure when they say tabs, like whatever. So if you already have a financial aid package on file, that is your package, especially for fall. Like I said, we do not have summer. If you are already seeing summer packaging, it is definitely a mistake. And please do not rely on that, because it's probably the wrong number. I know, I just tested it. And as far as your fall numbers, those are pretty set in stone right now. That is your package. So to see how much it's going to cost, you can generate your bill. You can go into your portal. Your student can go into their portal, and you'll go to FSU custom applications. You'll try to find that app in your portal and generate your bill. If your bill is already there and you have already picked classes, probably not. It will give you an estimate of like how much classes are going to cost. So if you know that you're going to be taking 12 credit hours, like we have that budget worksheet, we didn't give you anything that couldn't help you. It tells you exactly how much that class costs. If you have Bright Futures, you will pay for 100%, you'll pay for everything other than $6. But see, that's when we're getting into people specific packages. Not everyone is going to have Bright Futures. Not everyone is going to have Florida Prepaid. If you do have Florida Prepaid and Bright Futures, they both will pay out automatically. It doesn't matter if you don't want to pay it out, you can't save it and for later, it's going to pay out. So I did see that question in the chat, and I just wanted to go ahead and address that. I will need to know exactly what you're saying. Also, I think Diane put our contact information in the chat. You are free to call us and email us so that we can actually discuss with you personally your packages. But if there are any personal questions tonight, I will not be discussing your personal issues over this Zoom chat.
Bev, it looks like you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I had a question on the Bright Futures for summer. Will it apply in the summer? Their first summer. Okay.
Bright Futures will apply in the summer. As far as the only tip for Bright Futures in the summer that I will give, that I do know, is that Bright Futures recalculates every spring. The only thing that you can make up for Bright Futures in the summer is your GPA. So that is one of those situations. If you have Bright Futures and you get here and stuff gets a little too tough, but you do know that you need to maintain your Bright Futures in order to be financially capable to continue to matriculate, please reach out to the office, because those situations are definitely individual, but you need to see us so that we can tell you what kind of financial situation you might end up in.
Okay, so my follow-up to that was, so my son, when he applied for Bright Futures, he didn't have to, because he initially was going to do fall 2022, but he got into summer. So he didn't have to put anything on the Bright Futures application for it to apply for summer 2022? I guess that's my question.
I would go into
I'll check
the
it.
Florida financial aid application
Okay.
just to make sure that they know that your son is starting school in the summer.
Okay.
But if it's already there and that you've already made it known to OSPA, more than likely when he enrolls and those classes hit, Bright Futures is gonna also
Yeah.
automatically come in. But the only thing you have to make sure in that case is that FSU is on the application.
Okay, yep.
And our school
Okay.
code is 371 if you need it.
371.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. All right. So looks like we have some other questions that have been sent to me. I'm looking for some of them have been answered already. So are there any scholarships are any scholarships still being offered to my student before fall starts? So I can kind of answer this because I think both Lee and Cameron have. And I've dropped the link and I can put it in the chat again. I would say first you can look at the FS4U. Again, I think I'm very intrigued by this whole process. So I love that space exists. So I'm going to drop that again in the chat. But Cameron, if you or Lee have any other like scholarship locations, places people can look for the fall, feel free to share.
I will say no, we don't. And then I also want to say financial aid is not your house for scholarships. We disperse them. We disperse money. We do not have the money sitting here in a safe waiting to give it. So the only other place that I think that I would, yeah, I just had to bring it forward because there's one more place to look. It's not the Academic Foundations and Scholarship website. That is a website that I would actually look into if there are any grad students or, older upperclassmen students. I will also look into fellowships. I think you can put that into the FSU directory so that you look into those post-grad type of things. And even if you're just now starting, it doesn't hurt to look into those post-grad upper level areas.
Thank you. So it's like we have a question here. It says, for part-time jobs mentioned on campus, are they for any student to apply, or do you have to choose work study on the FAFSA to be considered?
I would say it's a good practice. If you are eligible for federal work study funds, absolutely check yes, and that you're interested, and then you will be given an award. If you're eligible for it, always do that as a good practice. But no, the jobs on campus that we share specifically from those departments, those are part-time jobs for any student, regardless of whether they qualify for federal work study funds or not. They are, of course, in a lot of the departments, it's easier for some will say, they may argue that to find a federal work study position because that's funds that are already there. But yes, they are for all students. Really good question.
So we have another question here. So my son starts summer. Will he be able to get financial aid before he starts? Because his like Bright Futures doesn't start until after he finished his diploma.
We have not packaged until August, so I don't know what the financial aid package or what your son's situation is like, especially him being a new student. Hopefully you can take down my email, and since your student is already admitted, you can shoot me something tomorrow and we can discuss that further to see, so I can like look at his ISER and stuff. But other than you won't know until about April the 8th. I gave you a specific day. It's really roughly 2 weeks. Let's see what date that is. Yeah. That we will see summer packaging go out.
And someone had a question, can family members access these websites? Absolutely. So like you can go, as long as it is not your student's personal information, that is something that you have to get what we call delegated access to. But websites to financial aid, to the Career Center, to FS4U, that is 100% something you can look into. Again, as long as it's not specifically about your student's information. If it's your student's specific information, you have to go through delegated access. I hope I'm correct.
For mentioning that. So if you do reach out to me and you're a parent, please make sure you have delegated access, because that is something I'm going to ask. and check into prior to working on the case.
And we have a question here. It says, my daughter has Florida prepaid. However, it does not show in the college financing plan. Do they need to contact the financial aid office, or do they need to contact like Florida prepaid specifically?
Florida prepaid is housed up under student business services. Diane, can you drop their information in the chat as well? That we do not house. I actually think Florida prepaid is even dispersed by student business services. We don't disperse that. So that is the office that you will contact about anything that happened, any trouble, concerns, you will talk to them about that.
Great. Any final questions? Feel free to send them to me, or raise your hand.
I see
let us know.
Bev again.
Bev, is your hand still raised? Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Your hand still says right. No, you're totally fine. Didn't want to miss your question. You didn't want to miss any question you may have had. So another question, it says, if you take loans, both guaranteed and Parent Plus, will the payment plan wait for the disbursement, or do you have to pay and be reimbursed?
I'm not sure if you're asking if you're going to be repaying loans while you're in school. But if that is your question, your loans are not, you do not have to start paying back your loans until you are either A, not enrolled in school. So the first time you meet a period where you're not enrolled in school for at least, I think, 6 hours, or B, when you graduate, 6 months from when you graduate. And that payment plan is worked through with the lenders. Financial aid also does not do payment plans. We do not even take money at our office. That's how broke we are in real life. We don't have money up in here. We don't have it.
Yeah.
So as I meant to pay your bill each semester. Oh, so yes, as far as early disbursement and all of those good things, your money is dispersed prior to, so you don't really worry about it until about add and drop. And then if you still have a balance on your account that is more than $500, then that is when you're going to want to get in contact with financial aid and see, how do I stop this from happening so that I can register for classes. But for the most part, if your disbursement happens, we see your bill, student business services issues your bill and tells us, hey, this student is registered for 12 hours. Here's the tuition, here's the class fees. And then after that, we say, okay, here's the money that we have packaged them for. This is what they are eligible for. And then they take all of theirs out, and then you are either issued a refund, or we found out if you have a balance. And then after that, if your balance is over $500, like I said, get in contact with financial aid office, because you will have a hold and you will not be able to register for classes.
Perfect. Thanks. So looks like we have 2 final questions here. So the first one is, if someone's student just got their scores to meet Bright Futures, how is FSU notified? Do they need to contact Bright Futures office to have them send that information over to us?
They will update that information on update the information with OSFA, and then it should get updated with us.
Cool. Awesome. Well, first things first, thank you all for sharing. Thank you, family members, for your questions. Thank you so much, Cameron, Diane, and Lee, for being with us this evening. I learned a lot. I feel like I learned something every time I do one of these chats, and it makes me really happy. I love learning more information about how we can best serve our students and our families. Again, families, we do monthly FSU chats. Actually, our next one in April is about what to expect in orientation, which I'm very excited about, because you get to learn a little bit more about what my office does and how we're going to support our new Noles and their families as they are joining us here either in the summer or in the fall. If you do have any questions for Cameron, Diane, or Lee, they have dropped their emails, or you've seen it on the slides. And if you all would like to drop those again for folks to see, to ask any questions that they may have, feel free to do so. If you have any questions about orientation, about new student and family programs, anything like that, I'm also going to drop new student and family programs email address. We are happy to answer all of your questions that you may have, or to direct you in any direction or to any office that you may need. I'm like typing and talking at the same time. There we go. All right, so again, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you did miss the beginning of our recording, we will be posting these again on our website, and we will share them via our Facebook as well, for you all to be able to go back and rewatch. But thank you all again, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.